Our spotlight on accused killer Duane Keffe D. Davis. He is alleged to have been the shot caller that ordered iconic rapper Tupac Shakur's murder. This was back in 1996, and it took police 27 years to make an arrest, but they did. They arrested Keffe D. back in September, charging him with Tupac's murder. And now prosecutors are concerned that he might be a threat to their case witnesses. We know many of the case witnesses are dead, but the ones who are alive, prosecutors have great concern for, as jail phone calls that they pulled show he talking with his son, Keffe D talking with his son about getting the quote-unquote the green light. We've got a listen to those jail calls for you now. Let's listen together to the call.
I love you, big dog. Hey, call me in the morning, man. I got some to tell you, too.
About what?
Oh, no, that's a bunch of that's going on.
What?
Around the city.
Oh.
They talking about green light on that. Talking about the our side.
Our side is a green light on our side?
Yeah, but guess what he told him? He said, we was raised in war. We don't give a
For this here?
Be rude, yeah.
Huh?
Yeah, be rude.
Oh, he gone?
No, be rude.
He gone?
No, he's saying that it's on. That's what I said. That's what he said. He said, you think we would give a about that? We raising it.
Yeah, fool. Y'all ain't.
Yeah, y'all ain't heard. Yeah. But love you, big dog.
Love you too.
I'm going to tell you about it tomorrow. All right, good night, big dog.
Yeah.
What does that call mean? Let's bring in our expert guest. I have with me retired DEA Supervisory Senior Special Agent Michael T. Wilhite Sr. He's also the owner of MTW Consulting, does consulting and training for police officers domestically and internationally. And with us, civil attorney John Phillips, someone who is no stranger to high-profile cases. He's handled many celebrity cases and many in the public eye. Wonderful to have you both on our show this morning. Michael Wilhite, I have to start with you, please. In all of your years of service with the DEA, investigating drug cases with gang ties, when you hear this call, tell me, do you think there is concern for outside witnesses?
Julie, prior to DEA, I also served as a correction officer for the state of Georgia Correction Department and for the Federal Bureau of Prisons at MCC Chicago, Metropolitan Correction Center, Chicago, Illinois. This is a concern. This is a concern not only for the prison, it's only a concern for the other witnesses that are still alive in the community or out there in their world. Yes, it is a concern. And again, what the boggling part about it is that whether it's on the state side or the federal side, these phone calls are monitored. The institution tells you these phone calls are monitored. So for you to have this conversation on a monitored phone call where you know someone's listening there, meaning the institution at a minimum, it's just mind-blowing.
Right. Right. You know, he knows better. I mean, this guy, this isn't the first time he's been behind bars. He did a nice tour back in the 90s, I believe, for all the drug trafficking. He knows better. And so appreciate it, Michael. So this is very serious stuff. Witnesses should be concerned, and then the state is rightfully concerned, in your opinion. Thank you for that. John Phillips, I want to turn to you for the legal aspect of something else, please, my friends. So the reason why the gap in years for the prosecution is because Keffe D. had an agreement with some detectives, some LA police detectives working this case. Greg Kading was one of them, probably the most well-known detective who's worked this case. He's come on Court TV with us. And they said to Keffe D, hey, look, you got this federal drug case pending. If you give us some information about Tupac's murder, because we know you were there and probably know everything that happened, we're not going to use anything you say in this interview room against you. So that was the deal. John, I have a little clip. We just got a hold of our first clip from this proffer, and you're going to hear Greg Kading's voice and Keffe D's voice, and we're going to talk about it on the other side. Let's watch.
All right, I'm ready.
Okay, so again, today's report that's going to get generated is specifically on Tupac Las Vegas incident, and we'll get you a copy of that report and have you make sure everything's solid before it's
All right, man. Well, I feel I can still go to jail with that, man, because this is federal, and that's
what is said right here cannot be used against you, Keffe.
Oh, okay. So we have that, and John Phillips. What we don't have is some type of full immunity issued by, let's say, maybe the district attorney, with the judge's stamp of approval on it. So when this guy goes talking in his autobiography many years later and lets it all out, now he's sunk. So here's what I'm wondering for you, John, tapping into your brilliant legal mind. Can his attorneys do anything to go back and say that proffer made him believe he was covered by that limited immunity, so you can't use what he said in his book against him?
You use the broad word anything, and attorneys, we will use everything. So certainly you're going to see motions, I would expect, that try to, stuff this all back into, the realm of inadmissible evidence, right? And look, you do have interrogations. You do have somebody that's recognizing some of their legal rights, right? Like, okay, there's state, there's federal, you still can get me on one or the other. And they're like, no, just cooperate. And so the question is whether that's a coerced confession, or whether it can, truly be used in this case. But again, to your point, there's all sorts of other admissions and autobiographies and other conversations that you can get it in through a back door.
Mm-hmm. Right, John. And so do you think, I guess, to kind of boil it down, do you think if you had to predict these statements he made in his book are coming in at trial?
I do. Because they were in his book, they're separate and apart from the specific proffer.
Yeah, from the proffer, right. Appreciate that, John. I want to go back to you, please, Michael Wilhite, and I have a clip we're going to listen to. This is from the district attorney. His name is Steve Wolfson, and he's speaking to the media after that hearing where the judge gave Keffe D a bail, albeit a high bail, $750,000, but still, they did not want a bail that would be attainable. Let's take a listen.
If the defendant has the ability to post bail, that before he is released, the judge will listen to evidence and information concerning the source of the bond, who is putting up the money, to determine whether or not it is a legitimate source for purposes of posting the bond.
A legitimate source. Michael, tell me if I'm wrong. Is he alluding to maybe, I don't know, the Southside Compton Crips gang that Keffe D was a leader of?
Oh, yeah, I'm sure he is. There's a possibility, and I'm sure that the authorities are looking at this, that a possibility that the whoever's putting up the bail, the money for the bail, that source could be tainted themselves. That source, that funding could be derived from drug trafficking, gang activities, you name it. Whatever that gang is involved in it, and that gang is historically known to be involved in everything illegal, and so they would definitely be looking at that, and that should, and normally should, make an influence on the judge whether or not to revoke it or do what she want to do with it.
That's a great point, Michael. I was stunned that this judge gave him that bond. I really was. If I was that judge, I would say no bond for him. And I think, you know, with this conversation, this has been a productive one as this case is moving closer and closer to trial in June. I think what we've concluded is he's a dangerous guy and that he's in big trouble come time for trial for the admissions he's made and the evidence against him. We have to leave it there, but thank you both for your expertise. Michael,